Hello, the game has started. It's my opponent to go first. I've got a poor rack. I've got the Q, no U, but I do have an I, so I may be able to play chi or chin. And through an A, I could have cat. If my opponent changes, I'll probably just play chi. Okay, opponent does provide a U, so I could play quirt, which would sort out the duplicate R. Do I have anything else? Well, there's nowhere for chi, and I'm not seeing any other Q plays. Do I have anything else through the U? Well, quit isn't better. Quirt does take an S at the beginning and the end. Okay, not fantastic. There could be some 8-letter bingos with this rack. I can't see any 7s. I've got the con prefix. I've got the L for going in front of the Y of Rumbly, and my C can go at the beginning. So I could play Clon and Crumbly to sort the rack out. Row K available as a double-double lane, even without a bingo. I've got the non-prefix, non-talc, not good. So I can't see a double-double in row K. Con looks like the most useful prefix, but I'm not seeing anything. Now another double-double lane is column 11. And again, I'm seeing nothing. So at the moment, my preference is Cron and Crumbly. Clon and Crumbly, rather. And that would leave an okay rack leave of ANR. Nothing fabulous. Opponent taking a while with his move. I'm not aware of any 4-letter extensions of quirt. Wow, great start for my opponent. He moves into a 100-point lead. My clon spot is still available. I've got a new floater to consider in the D. Can't see anything with that. So clon for 24. Great, that looks very close to a bingo. There may be a 7 here, but I'm not immediately seeing it. Pre-enact through an E, but the E is slatted, not available for a bingo. Can't see anything through the Y. Or through the L. Now a new floater available in the S. Gosh, I hope I'm not overlooking a bingo through that. It would be very high probability. Well, so far I'm not seeing a bingo. A couple of 2-letter sets to consider, L and T, B and A. Not seeing anything there. The M is available as a floater, but only if you have an I. O and R also available as a 2-letter set. Not seeing anything. Now, is there really nothing through this S? Not that I can see. So, how about a play in column 15, placing my A next to the Z? So what can go after the E? N, R or T? So do I have a play which uses both the C and the P? Carpet not working. I think Centra is good, but that leaves the P. Well, I think I might play Centra for 35 points. Not great. I can't see a bingo here. I don't think there's an 8. And I'm over 100 points behind. I've got the up prefix, but that's not particularly useful. If my H was an L, I would have up slope. I'd quite like to play in row L to develop the left-hand side of the board, Crumbly obstructing that, although Quirt's still available with its front S hook. The C not a massively useful end hook. I've got the OUS ending. Not particularly great. Now I could play in column 5 parallel to Clon rather than in row L. That would be a way of creating 2 bingo lanes. And I do have an S for squirts, so I should be able to leave a decent rack leave. So I could play OUPH, that's quite nice. Alf taking an E and an S at the end. Great start for my opponent. He got 70 points for Zedas. I didn't comment on that, but that's a bingo-y score for a non-bingo-y play. And continuing to score well with Woe. Now I could play in column 13. Hon is good. And my O and E can both go in front of We. So I could play POH, but that doesn't really develop the top of the board. I prefer the rack leave after oof. Not a great pickup. Still just the one vowel. And by still, I mean the one vowel was in my rack leave from the previous move, so I've only drawn consonants. The extra S not particularly useful. Another nice score for my opponent. Just wondering if I can play in row O using one of my S's without using both of them. Sins would use both. And I don't have to take that spot. And I'm thinking about playing Fey for 28. Quite a good rack leave. It would be nice to play off one more tile. Not the vowel though. Well, what about playing the vowel, but hopefully for a good return. 42 points, NPS, quite a good rack lead, provided I draw a couple of vowels. So I'm going with this. Great, I draw a couple of vowels plus a blank, and this is quite a bingo-y rack. Wow, nice bingo by my opponent, 68 points. And maybe that's why he played for opening up row O, because he had an S or an S and a blank. In any event, he has bingoed and he's moved into a 180 point lead, which is pretty good. However, I should be able to come back with a bingo straight away. So I'm just going to run through the alphabet and see if anything leaps to mind. Daphne is through an H. Okay, so here is Pandies and Spaned. Pandies is quite nice because the P is tripled. How am I doing on time? 13 minutes, so no time trouble. Are there any stronger lanes? Well, there's column 11 as a double-double. So this rack plus LT, there could be something there. But I think I'm going to play Pandies for 83. Quite nice. I have Kitenge on my rack. Nowhere for that. Just looking at the floaters in Pandies. But this doesn't look like a rack which makes many 8s. So I'm not in good shape here. I'm 100 points behind my opponents on turn. And I've nowhere to play my bingo. And opponents continuing to score in the 30s. I'm not sure he's had any scores below that. So very difficult to catch somebody who's consistently scoring so well. Now I'm thinking about playing across the top of Pandies, but that would take out PA and N as floaters. Now do I have a 5-letter play ending in K? I don't think I do. Well, now what I could do is this. Geek for 32, it's a decent score. The G, quite useful given that I've got IN on my rack and no N's to come. The rack leaves okay and I'm leaving the floaters in Pandies available. Well, I don't have an IN G bingo. I've got the anti-prefix. Not seeing anything with that. So the problems with this rack are the duplicate I and the W, and the slight vowel preponderance. I'd like to retain IN for ING. So play of, okay, well that's been taken out. Good score, or good play by my opponent. He's taken out that ING possibility. He scored well, and the B is not particularly dangerous in row A, especially as it's covering the double letter square. So I could do this. I could play whale for 26, quite a good rack cleave. And I'm not seeing anything better. More vowels. Let me look at the remaining vowel situation. 7 out of 17 tiles, so a consonant heavy bag. 55 points for my opponent. He's now 150 points in the lead. Just wondering how to deal with this rack. Well, certainly I want to play vowels off. And the O's are the least bingo-y. I'm wondering about just playing OO. The game is lost at this point. It's a matter of minimising the losing spread. So OO for 14. Well, I draw 2 I's. Not great. No scoring tiles on my rack. I'm just looking around for any candidate plays. 5 tiles in the bag. Well, I guess Inti, well, it would sort the I's out, but it would leave only vowels on my rack. Not too much of a problem given how consonant heavy the bag is. Well, I could play Nidey for 10. I draw another vowel, and this is a pretty poor rack. Two tiles in the bag. Just looking around for where my H may be able to score. Another good score from my opponent. He's nearly at the 500 mark. And he's emptied the bag so I can see what he's got. Glamour without the A. I don't think he can go out in 1 with this rack. So I need to go out in 2. Can't see anything good with the V. Line for 16 would leave T. T can go out above slatted and also above thine. And I don't think this is giving anything fabulous for my opponent. Now if I'd played ethne last turn instead of thine, I would have had vite in column 1 for 21. I've got 14 for T, 16 for Tate, 18 for T, A and at. Nice play by my opponent, 27 points. And I have T for 18. And the final score, 346 to me, 525 to my opponent, a winning margin of 179 points, so well done to my opponent. Let's see what I missed. It was my opponent to go fast. He played Rumbly. This was my rack and I played Quirt. Nothing else obviously better. Great rack for my opponent, he has slatted. Wow, there was a bingo here. Cornland onto the D. Well done if you spotted that. And then Clon is coming up in second spot, a long way behind. Opponent plays Zedas for 70, which was a great score for him. And I miss Procreant, a 9-letter play through O and R, so well done if you spotted that. I don't even know that word. I have learnt the top 5,000 nines. This must be lower down than that. So I played... Pecan was available for 40, that's quite nice. 35 for Centra. Not a nice rack for my opponent. But he gets 31 for Woe. I play Oof for 24. M15 Hop beside Zedas, but that would have taken out the S floater. Opponent's rack. He plays 4. Now did he have the blank when he did this? No, he didn't. Interesting. So he played 4 and picked the S and the blank. I play Phase for 42. Okay, he didn't pick the S was in Zedas, but he drew the blank and had Nirvanas, which was a nice spot. I come back with pandies, dish pan also available. Opponent has obliged. Doesn't play it. Where does it play? A13. Okay. Beside woe. And I play geek, which I think is fine. Opponent plays beaky. And I play whale, which looks fine. War, more points, but a much worse rack leave. Opponent plays jab, and then my rack deteriorates considerably. But there's a bingo here. Wow, option E through the P, 62 points. I play U for 14, pretty less good. Opponent plays bird. Now these, you can see from these rack leaves, they're pretty awful. I play needy. Opponent, wow, he has lovebird, but vex, a better play. N2 whore. Okay, quite nice, 34 points. I play thine. Opponent plays vulgo. And I go out with T. So, pretty good game. And quite a few missed bingos there. Procreant, difficult one to see, and in any event I didn't know it. Option E also difficult to see with 5 vowels, but was available. And Cornland, difficult in its own way. So as so often the case when you lose the game, there are errors, and that's really the advantage of the value in analysing your game afterwards, because you're just not aware of the mistakes you make during the game. If you were, you wouldn't make them. And it's useful to know what your mistakes are, because that's how you learn. So I hope you enjoyed that video, and I will see you next time.